I need to know.
So is your time? Start.
Okay.
Okay.
Bim
Bim,
bam bim bim bim
bim,
bam
bim,
bim
bim,
bim
bim,
bim
bim,
bim
bam.
bam bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, hey, Shabbat, Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam.
Welcome, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. My name is John Luis Gomez, and I'm here today with the wonderful Laura Smith. She and I will be filling in this Kabbalat Shabbat service while the rabbis are away on their vacation. As always, we are praying tonight out of the Mishkan T'filah, or if you are online, you can download our Vitriol Siddur at Temple Sinai, Reno.org. So if we can turn to page 8, we can read together. I begin with the prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illuminate all of us and to bring that vision to life. Thank you. I would like to call up Perianne and Eliana to offer the blessings and light our Shabbat candles. And the blessings can be found on page 2.
Can I do fire? You can do fire. You don't have to say? Okay. Yes, I know how to do fire.
Ooh.
Taking notes.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu ladlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you. We will continue on page 10 with Ma Yafeh Hayom.
Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. And how wonderful it is to be together, to be in this community, and to share our voices together. We now turn to page 12 for Lechun Leranana.
Lechun Leranana, Lechun Leranana, Lechun Leranana Adonai. Lechun Leranana, Lechun Leranana, Lechun Leranana Adonai. Naria Letzur Yishenu Nekad Mafana Betorah. Naria Letzur Yishenu Bizmirot Naria Lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai.
I strive to have her voice.
That's fine.
Please join me on page 20 for Lecha Dodi. And as is our custom, we sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And for the final verse, if you are able to, please rise and turn to face the back doors to welcome in our Shabbat bride. Boi Kala, Boi Kala.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamur v'zachor v'dibur echad, Yishmi'anu ha'meyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'tila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu ne'necha, Ki mekor habracha, Hirosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, Ki va'orek u'mi'ori, uri shir daveri, Kevod Adonai ha'adikla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ma'ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'b'sohola, Toch emunei yam segula, Boi chala, Boi kala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela.
You may be seated. And Chatzi Kaddish can be found on page 26. Yitkadav, Yitkadash, Shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'alma divrach yikortei, v'amli malchutei. B'chayechon u'yomechon, u'chayetecho be'Yisrael. Bahagala, u'vizman kahariv, v'miru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'alam maya, Yitbarak, v'yishtabak, V'yit'arar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shmei d'grusha brechu. Lil min kol birkata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, dahamin rambel ma, v'miru. Amen. Thank you. Now we please rise for the Barhu on page 28. We read together at the top of page 31. Praise to you, Adonai our God, for whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, for whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim. We turn to the bottom of page 32 and read together. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, whom we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We are loved and we are here to love, learn, and listen. The Shema can be found on page 34. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. We will continue with the V'ahavta on page 36. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We read together at the top of page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Mi Chamoka can be found on page 40.
Yappa ba bim bim bam, yappa ba bim bam, yappa ba bim bim bam, yappa ba bim bam, yai dai 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 dai, yappa ba bim bam, yai dai 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 dai, yappa ba bim bam. Mi chamocha vaylim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar v'chodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele, ma'alechutecha rahuvanecha, bokei ayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, Ze'eri anu ve'amru, Adonai yimlok le'olam va'ed.
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני יעקב, וגאלו מיד יחזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל Israel. So now we have crossed over the sea, whether it was just from a long week or perhaps something much more trying. The flight is over and we can now slow ourselves down and prepare to rest. We read together at the bottom of page 42. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and peace evermore. Baruch atah Adonai, הפורש סקות שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. We are kept, and in return, we keep Shabbat in joy. Veshamru can be found on page 44. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat. לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם.
Beni Israel, Oti Leolam, Oti Leolam. Veshamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat. לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ,
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ויהיה השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם.
Thanks, Tova.
Yes, thank you, Tova. I do need to attend a class to do all the wonderful motions. I always forget. We should. So as we enter into the Amidah on page 46, please stand in either body or spirit as you are able. As always, when we are done reading communally, you may continue reading until page 62 or sit whenever your meditation is complete.
Adonai sefatah ufia itevivatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, let my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotinu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Kunei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevii Geula Livnei Bneihem, U'Ma'am Shemo V'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol Torah le'Moshiach. Mashipar ruach morikat Hashem. Mechakel chayim b'chesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim v'rofeh olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha b'gevorot, Umitomeidav, Melech Levi Umechayeh, Umatzliach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah hakayot ha'ol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh ha'kol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kedoshim b'chol yom yahlelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Ose shalom bimroma, uyase shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru. Amen.
Beautiful. We now turn to the top of page 245, and we read together, "Assemble the people, men, women, and children, and the strangers in your cities to hear, to learn, to revere Adonai your God, to observe faithfully the words of this Torah, and let their children who do not yet know it hear, that they too may learn to revere Adonai your God." At this point, Temple Sinai traditionally holds that we would have a Torah service, but tonight we're just going to talk about Torah rather than bringing out the scrolls. We know, however, that across our country and different time zones, scrolls are being opened up and down the hemispheres. And with those out, let us ask for healing for those in need. We are thinking tonight especially of Mary Jo Adams, Kevin Ashton, Kathy Bartlett, Tracy Bartlett, Batia Tali, Danny Berger, Laura Cohen, Oritsur Cohen, Megan Carney Cranmer, Jim Eaglesmith, Marty Flager, Glenda Granger, Marlene Harris, Pam Hendricks, Letitia Kruger, Lisa Liebergot and family, Eli Long, John Lutzker, Jason Matthews, Havrav Miriam Yael Chaya, Bat Sarah, Rabbi Marcia Prager of Aleph, Tim Ober, Claire Petersky, Tony Petty, Carol Pevney, Ramirez Morgan family, Judy Ramos, Sara Bat Chava, Harav Sara Bat Yisrael de Shoshana, Rabbi Sally Priestland, Chaya Schwartz, Shaina Braha Bat Esther, Malka, Shaina Molina, Shlomit Shalit, Chris Stanton, Vanessa Wagner, Bobby Wells, Usher Zalik, Israel for peace, healing, and remembrance for all the innocent lives affected in this war, everyone affected by the coronavirus and long COVID, in the Jewish and other communities of Ukraine. If you would like to add anyone, please say their names as my eyes meet yours. And if you are joining online, please feel free to add the names in the comments to be remembered for healing.
Robert Ray.
Carolyn Cudisi, Jackie Roberts, and Denise.
Denise Jarvis.
The Mishaberach can be found on page 253. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. May the blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us say, Amen. Our blessings for the study of Torah can be found on page 86. We turn back a few pages. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'asok divrei Torah. Thank you. This week's Parshat, Pekudei, comes to us at the end of the book of Exodus. It tells us of the completion of the construction of the Mishkan, the mobile sanctuary and harbor for the Israelites during their journey through the wilderness. The Hebrew word Pekudai translates to accounts or countings, referring to the reckoning of all the materials commanded and used in constructing the Mishkan, the tabernacle. Materials of gold, silver, bronze, as well as the special pieces of clothing for the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, also known as Aaron, which included the ephod, the apron, the hoshen, the breastplate, the me'il, robe, and the tzitz, the headband. They were all instructed. The uniform for the other Kohanim is also created. On the 1st of Nisan, known as the Yetzit Mitzrayim, almost 1 year after the Exodus, the Mishkan is complete, according to everything instructed by God. Moshe sets up the walls and all the vessels and places the luchot, the tablets, in the Aaron, the ark, and burns the ketoret, incense, on the golden mizbeach, the altar, and a cloud appears and covers the Mishkan. God's presence fills it. As I prepared for this evening's sermon, I took a step back in order to grasp the meaning of the countings for the construction, the law, and community as themes that represent this parshat, detailing the meticulous workmanship and the materials used in full transparency and accountability. Perhaps this was the first audit. Then I asked myself, when did full accountability and instruction affect me first? Well, when I was a young boy and through my teens, I spent the summers working for my grandfather, washing and waxing his 56 Chevy pickup truck, picking fruits and vegetables from his large backyard, raking and trimming branches off the trees. I pulled weeds, planted seeds, and each year I painted the wooden planked fences surrounding his house in the color of dark barnyard red. My grandfather was a bit colorblind. His 56 Chevy was painted pistachio green. My grandfather was meticulous. He followed his schedule. He followed the seasons, when to plant, when to pick, and when to rest. I admired this, and I never questioned it. Each year when we set out to paint the fences, he took an account of all the materials that were needed. Paintbrushes, different kinds for different types of wood. Sandpaper to remove the wilted and peeling paint from last year's coat. Rags, acetone, that horrid smelling chemical used to remove paint and to clean up the brushes. And paint, several gallons. Instructions on how to mix the paint, how to prep by taping and using drop cloths, themselves splotched each year in a kaleidoscope of shades and colors. There was a method and instruction. Do the work the right way, according to plan, and the job will be completed with pride and beauty. I listened, I watched, and I was always supervised. But when I was 14, I was set to begin painting the fence aligned against the street sidewalk in front of my grandparents' house. I was anxious. I was 14. Not only did I need to prep and begin the job, I also wanted desperately to get to the beach with my friends. It was July in San Diego, 74 degrees, beautiful weather. I figured I could do the job quickly with enough time to get a ride with my friends and spend the afternoon just sunbathing and jumping the waves. Instead, I found myself rushing because I knew that the job would take several hours more than I wanted to be there. I was thinking of all the fun that was ahead for me if I completed my work fast. I had insisted that I begin the task on my own. I'd done this year after year. I knew what I was doing. My grandfather agreed and let me do the work alone. I was in control. A friend rode his bike up the street and saw me prepping for my job. I was laughing, I was joking, and really more interested in the conversation than paying attention to what I was supposed to be doing. My friend rode off. My mind was not at the task on hand. And before I knew it, I tripped over the can of paint that I had just opened. Why did I open up the can of paint? I hadn't yet placed the drop cloth over the sidewalk. I didn't follow instructions and the order that was familiar to me so many times. Immediately, dark red paint coated the sidewalk below the fence. I panicked. It looked like blood. Why didn't my grandfather choose a simple white picket fence? I kept asking myself. I ran to grab the hose, petrified that the morning sun would begin drying up the blob oozing down the sidewalk. I had blood on my hands. Just then, my grandfather walked out, startled at what he saw. I noticed the disappointment on his face. We spent the next hour cleaning the paint off the city sidewalk, scrubbing, wiping, applying that acetate, power washing. Why didn't I think? Why didn't I follow what was instructed to me so many times? I was mad at myself, I was sorry, but most of all, I had disappointed my grandfather. His meticulous accounting and preparedness that he had shown me over the last several summers was lost by my anxiousness, my rush, and mind not to be focused on the task at hand. He didn't say a word to criticize or scold me. Instead, he wrote a list of all the steps for me to remember going forward and hung that list in the garage next to the painting supplies. For the next year, each time I approached my grandparents' house, the dull stain of red color that spilled onto the sidewalk was a reminder of how I didn't follow instructions and take accountability, but rather a reminder of how instructions and structure, are important in life. Now, as an adult, a Jewish man, I ask, how does Pekudei continue today? Well, each day we all fulfill duties. We all have to-do lists for life, for family, and for work. It's tax season. We reconcile what we owe, or luckily, if we don't owe anything. We pay attention to detail and to the divine instructions that were given to our ancestors in the form of our temple here, where we sit and gather each week, our community, by being together and being supportive and being good people. Purim, just 2 weeks ago, we celebrated the holiday with festivity, coming together, eating, dancing, reading, and shouting out a many a l'chaim. And during our high holy days, we account for our transgressions. Shabbat, we follow God's instruction to observe and to honor this holy day each week for reflection, restoration, growth, and for peace. And why follow instructions? Simple. If we don't, nothing gets done. People, places, and time are not in order. The world does not function. We do the right thing. Our ancestors, Moshe, Aaron, and the Israelites, were all in need of guidance and structure. The laws that were given to them at Sinai provided for them and brought us here today. But how do we account for ourselves as a people and as Jews? By fulfilling our obligations as Jews, by creating sacred and safe places, by collaborating, working together, and carrying out God's commands of Shabbat and Chesed, and just being good humans. And by reflecting on God's presence and our own presence in our community. And most importantly, the lesson of Shabbat. The Sabbath has kept the Jews, and the Jews will keep the Sabbath. I thank you, Rabbi Sarah, if you're listening, for sharing this with me not too long ago. Today, in these trying times, we see the repercussions of not following order and instructions, by not taking an account, and by ignoring laws. This causes chaos, confusion, and loss of identity. And it will question morality, human kindness, and the importance of what Pekudei means. Shabbat Shalom. We turn to the bottom of page 282 for the Aleinu. I would like to call up Josie and Coco to open up our ark. And we please rise.
I was going to say, did you get stood up?
Pardon?
She's coming. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, v'sheit gidulai v'yoseh bereshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adamah, shelo sam k'pidim lahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol amonam. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Yes. Let all who dwell on this earth acknowledge that unto you every knee must bend and every tongue swear loyalty. Before you, Adonai, our God, let them pay homage. Let them give glory to your honored name. Let all accept the yoke of your reign, that you may rule over us soon and forever. For sovereignty is yours, and to all eternity you will reign in glory, as it is written in your Torah. Adonai will reign forever and ever. This, it has been said, Adonai will become sovereign of all earth. On that day, Adonai will become one, and God's name will be one. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo At this time, actually, you may be seated. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Thank you for your patience, everybody. At this time, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. Tonight, we are especially remembering for the Shloshim, Terry Sayez, Hadassah Bar Chaim, Eve Lubling. For the Avelut, Rivka Bat Avraham, Rebecca Weidman Hoover, Kurt Engelhardt, Debbie Herman, Jerry Zober, Laura Lazarus, Ron Darst, Robert Stearns, Sally Ann Castle-Rain, Irene Fenton, Patricia Dufay, Joseph Ohayon, Yolanda Jimenez, Nancy Dawes, Ernie Kuntz, Michael Schifrin, Justin Friedlander, Michael McGraw, James Clower, Herbert Gordon, Vivian Morgan, Les Cohen, Martha Gould, Alvina Geiger, Frederick Andres, Marilyn Hilborn, Neil J. Rosen. And for the Yahrzeits, Martin Friedlander, Anna Kaplan, George Freeman, Lillian Goldstein, Donna Matlis, Shirley Kazan, David Paul Rutkovets, Tilly Thal Messinger, Marian Braverman Blackmore, Rebecca Robinson, Sadie Herman, Seymour Albert Riker, Ayelet Cohen McDonald, Bernard Gerber, Ellen B. Levine, Lucian A. Zenter. If there are names that you would like to add, please say them as my eyes meet yours. And if you are online, please feel free to share those names in your comments. Kaddish can be found on page 294. If it is your custom, please rise. Yitgadal v'kadash me rabba, Yalma divra kirotei v'yamelaik malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yavchon uv'chaye b'kol Beis Yisrael, b'hagal uv'zman kariv v'mru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'olam ulmei almaya, yitbarak v'yishbarak v'yishbar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yatadar v'yatale v'yatalal shmei kurusha barechu. Leil min kol berchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, damariman v'yalma v'yevru amen. Yesh lama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'chol Yisrael v'emru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'chol Yisrael v'emru amen. May be seated. At this time, I would like to bring up, which board member to make announcements? Ms. Tova.
Hello, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for being here this evening. Hi. Thank you to Laura and John Luis for leading services of all the acts of service here at Temple Sinai. It is one of the most challenging because you have to overcome yourself in order to do it. And just thank you guys so much for doing that. Thank you, Michael Cohen, for greeting tonight and for hosting the oneg in your mother's memory. Thank you for Perry and, of course, for all the work into the oneg as well. If you would be interested in learning how to lead a service or hosting an oneg to honor someone in your life, whether to commemorate the memory of their passing or a happy occasion like a birthday or graduation, we would be thrilled to chat with you about ways to use our temple for your own personal gain. On our announcements, we have some items that will be recurring and weekly, such as Torah study tomorrow at 10 a.m. That is virtual by Zoom, and that will, believe is on the calendar for the preceding Saturdays. So I won't mention them all individually, but as far as I can see in the future, if it's Saturday at 10 a.m., you'll be at Torah study. Sunday school will resume tomorrow. Sunday, Sinai school will come back from spring break and resume on Sunday, March 30th. There is no Sinai school immediately following Passover on Sunday the 13th, but otherwise it looks like Sinai school is a regular recurring Sunday activity, as is our Friday night Kabbalat Shabbats at 7:30 p.m. I think those are standard in the upcoming calendar. So I'm going to spend the rest of the time highlighting things that are a bit unique coming up. So this Sunday, March 30th, will be a library committee meeting at 12 o'clock, followed by 1 p.m., our Novel Nasher's Book Club. The book for this month is Thistlefoot, which is full of wonderful adaptations of Jewish folklore. So please come and join us for that. Vita Dworkin will be leading the discussion. Thursday, April 4th is our Torah for Tots program at 4:15. They will be learning about Passover. And then that immediate Friday, April 4th at 5:30 p.m. is our Tot Shabbat, our once-a-month Tot Shabbat, the first Friday of every month. Saturday, April 6th is prom. Sunday, you're right, Sunday. So some of you know the week I've had, so the fact that I'm putting sentences together is really exciting, let alone the content. Thank you. Sunday, April 6th will be prom at 7 p.m. I hope to see all of you there. Our prom is available to B'nai Mitzvah age and up. So if your teen is freshly B'nai Mitzvah or soon to be and in the pipeline, yes, prom is for you. And like your parents should probably come. Is this a prom for kids? It's really more of a prom for the grown-ups, but the teens have earned their place in our grown-up shenanigans and therefore will be welcome. It's going to be a good time. Like, minds will be blown. I'm not trying to oversell it, but so we extroverts will be at prom. There's going to be introvert activities too, I promise. But in the opposite direction, on Tuesday, April 8th, will be a cozy movie night at in the Temple Library, where they will be showing Prince of Egypt, getting everybody in the Passover spirit. We have our board meeting on Wednesday, April 9th. All members are welcome to attend. That is by Zoom. And then, of course, big one on the horizon, Saturday, April 12th is Passover. This is our community Seder at the Atlantis at 6 p.m. Tickets are available for sale through this end of March. So until Monday, you can purchase tickets at a discount. The price will have a little bump once we get into April. Crafter Schmooze is a monthly recurring event, and that will be Tuesday, April 15th. And I think that's all to talk about for right now, but come to prom. That's my big one I'm promoting. And the Seder. Come to all my things. Thank you guys so much. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Tova. Thank you, Tova. A lot of fun things coming up, and I have to buy my ticket for the Passover Seder, so got to do that. So tonight we will be closing with Adon Olam on page 321.
Adon Olam, Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'Terem Kol,
Berterem Kol,
Yitzir Nira,
Yitzir Neva,
Liet Nasa,
Yit Nasa,
Behefsto
Oh,
Kol, Azai Melech
Shemo
Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'Yacharei Kiklot HaKol, Livado Yimlok Nora Adon Olam, Vehu Haya, Vehu Hove, Vehu Yeh B'Lifar Adon Olam, Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'Terem Kol,
Berterem Kol,
Yitzir Nira,
Yitzir Neva,
Liet Nasa,
Shah,
Behefsto
Behefsto
Kol,
Kol,
Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Vehu Echad, Ve'en Sheni, Leham Shilu Lehachbira Adon Olam, Ve'li Reshit, Ve'li Tachlit, Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'hamizra Adon Olam, Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'Terem Kol,
Berterem Kol,
Yitzir Nira, Liet Nasa, Behefsto Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, Vehu Eli, V'chai Goali, V'tzur Chevli V'tzora Adon Olam, Vehu Nisi, Humanasli, Menat Kosi V'yom Mikra Adon Olam, Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'Terem Kol,
Berterem Kol,
Yitzir Nira, Liet Nasa,
Nasa,
Behefsto Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'yado Hafkid Ruchi, Ve'tishan Ve'ya'ira Adon Olam, Ve'im Ruchi Geliati, Adon Avi V'lo Ira Adon Olam, Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'Terem Kol,
Berterem Kol,
Yitzir Nira,
Yitzir Neva,
Liet
Liet
Nasa,
Nasa,
Behefsto Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We'll meet everybody at the Oneg. Thank you. Thank you, Laura.